I remember a time when I was struggling financially, living paycheck to paycheck, when I was dreaming of doing things that by the grace of God I'm doing right now. And at that time when I was broken in debt, I was working much harder than I do now, being a soft, feminine woman, making more money and living an abundant life. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing the 6 things that biblical femininity taught me that changed my life forever, that shifted not only the things that I did, but the way in which I view the world, and how that led me to attracting my God-given abundance. Feminine abundance isn't a new phenomenon. It stands the test of time and is highlighted throughout the Word of God. And I'm going to show you how becoming a feminine woman of God will help you attract anything that you desire. The first thing that biblical femininity taught me to attract abundance is to prioritize your spiritual journey. Proverbs 31 verse 30 says, "A woman who fears the Lord is to be praised." I've always identified myself as a Christian, but never really had a strong personal relationship with God. But I realized that God is the ultimate masculine being. He is our father, he's our protector, he's our provider. That there's a lot of peace that comes from being close to God, that abundance and wealth is our birthright, that the blueprint to abundance is in the Word of God. So when I started strengthening my relationship with God, reading the Word of God, praying, putting Him first in everything that I did, repenting, not just identifying as a woman of God, but becoming a woman of God and living like a woman of God, allowing God to use me, not being ashamed of Him, and speaking about God openly and walking in His purpose. And it's not that life becomes perfect when you become a woman of God and you have no trials and you have no tribulations, but you're at peace and you're able to face those challenges with your feminine power because you have allowed God to take control as the masculine being that He is. The next thing that biblical femininity taught me to attract abundance is to take pride in your exterior. A lot of people assume that taking care of your appearance as a woman is vanity, but underestimate the power of pretty privilege. Esther used her beauty, charm, and political intelligence to persuade the king to evoke the order to execute the Jews. You only have about 5 seconds to make a good first impression. After that, people have already formulated a story and your identity based on your appearance and based on how you have physically presented yourself. So as a feminine woman of God, taking pride in your exterior is a necessity. It says a lot about how you see yourself, your self-worth, and your self-value. You can be stylish and fashionable as a feminine woman of God. I did a video about how modest fashion isn't boring and how to be chic, elevated, and stylish whilst maintaining your modesty. I'll link the video down below, or you can find it in my fashion and styling playlist. I'm not naive to the fact that I've had opportunities and doors open for me because of the way that I look. However, just like Esther, once the doors have opened, you need to have wisdom and intelligence to be able to seal the deal. The next thing that biblical femininity taught me is nurturance. Ruth chose to stay with Naomi, her mother-in-law, and to stay devoted to God. She said, "Your people will be my people and your God will be my God." I remember when I first started my channel, it was from a self-serving perspective. How is this going to help and elevate me? And that reflected in my content, which was also self-serving. So it wasn't surprising that my channel and business were not growing or thriving until I stopped waiting to testify what was to come, and I started testifying what I had overcome, sharing my struggles, sharing my journey, and what I had done to get to where I'm at now. As feminine women of God, it is our duty to nurture, to provide value, to be helpful, to serve. You need to remove that masculine shield of constantly doing and receive just by being nurturing, being helpful, being of service, and being of value. The next thing that biblical femininity taught me to attract abundance is feminine power. Proverbs 15 verse 1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." I have had more opportunities, open doors, and abundance as a soft feminine woman compared to when I was operating from a place of masculinity. I previous partner always used to say, I can't help but want to just look after you and give you everything. And that's because I learned how to be gentle, my choice of words and my tone. And that's how Esther also got her way with the king. When he would ask her to make her request, she would say, if it pleases the king. You don't have to be dominant, overpowering, or masculine to get what you want. There is power in femininity. There is power in softness. Our privilege as women is through our femininity, and that's the same when it comes to asking or receiving for help. It is a heavy burden to carry to want to do everything on your own. Lean on God. Let Christ help you. Accept help from your friends, family, colleagues, partner. There is no badge of honor of doing things on your own, resenting it, and being burnt out. Next thing that biblical femininity taught me to attract abundance is to filter feminine women. There's a verse that goes, beware of false prophets that come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. I have been around women of God who talked the talk but didn't walk the walk, who were amazing preachers, who knew the word of God, but their character and lifestyle was not in line with what they spoke about and what they taught. Biblical femininity is not a costume that you can just put on. It's not cosplaying, but it's through your actions. It's a way of life. It is a journey. And I, for one, know that no one is perfect and you're not always going to get it right, but you have to be intentional to transform your mindset through your daily habits. We are a reflection of the company that we keep. So you have to have discernment when you meet new people of the people that are in your life. And if they are not in line with your values and your beliefs, it's okay to love people from a distance. Surround yourself with feminine women of God who talk the talk and walk the walk, or are on a journey to doing so. The next thing that biblical femininity taught me to attract abundance is to walk in your purpose. The Proverbs 31 woman lived her life to the fullest by fulfilling her God-given purpose. She was a multitasker, responsible for taking care of her family, home, job, and more. And although she was multitasking, it didn't seem like she was juggling a lot. It didn't seem like it was a burden because she was walking in her purpose. When I was working my 9 to 5, I was good at managing a multidisciplinary team, meeting targets and KPIs, overseeing quality improvement. It came naturally to me, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And the longer that I stayed, the more that I displayed masculine traits. And that's because although I was serving, I wasn't walking in my servitude. I always say that money is attracted to purpose. So if you're unhappy or unfulfilled in your job, career, or business, it's more than likely that you're not walking in your purpose. I have a whole video about how to identify your God-given purpose. I'll link it down below. You can find it in the Attract Abundance playlist. The message here is you can be a high achiever without hustling like a man. You can attract abundance and money by resting in your feminine energy and be successful while living a soft, feminine life. Like this video if you want to see more videos on femininity and abundance. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified every single time that I upload a video. I will see you in the next upcoming video. Mwah. Bye, lovelies.